Have you ever found yourself replaying the same thoughts over and over, analyzing conversations, imagining worst case scenarios, or trying to solve a problem that already happened? If so, you've experienced rumination. And while it feels like thinking, it's actually something far more different. Rumination is a mental loop where your brain repeatedly focuses on the same worry, regret, or negative thought without reaching a resolution. It often sounds like, why did I say that? What if this goes wrong? Should I have handled things differently? Or what does this person think of me? Unlike problem solving, which is active and forward thinking, rumination is unfortunately very circular. The mind spins, but nothing changes. Rumination is the brain's attempt to protect you, trying to gain certainty, avoid mistakes, or understanding something painful. But instead of helping, it keeps the nervous system stuck in the same state of threat. So, why rumination? Why is it so harmful? Chronic rumination can significantly impact mental health. It continues to maintain anxiety. Rumination keeps the body in a heightened stress response, activating the same neural networks associated with threat and worry. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a real danger and a repeatedly imagined one. Rumination worsens depression. Repeated negative thinking strengthens the neural pathway tied to hopelessness, guilt, and self criticism. The more the brain rehearses these thoughts, the more natural they feel, unfortunately. Rumination also blocks problem solving. Rumination feels productive, but it actually shuts down the prefrontal cortex, which is the part of the brain responsible for decision making and solutions. Rumination also has a problem as it damages sleep and emotional regulation. Rumination often peaks at night, making it harder to fall asleep and leaving the mind overstimulated. Left unaddressed, rumination becomes a habit, but habits can change, and that's the hopeful part. So, how do you work on decreasing rumination? There's evidence based strategies, which is basically learning the pattern. The moment you notice looping thoughts, say, this is rumination. This breaks the automatic cycle by shifting your brain into awareness rather than absorption. And what we like to do is use the 3 minute rule, which is basically give yourself permission to think about the issue for 3 minutes. Then gently say, that's enough now. This boundary interrupts the endless loop of rumination. And then we want to work on shift your state, not your thoughts. You cannot outthink a nervous system in fight or flight. Try slow breathing with long exhales, sensory grounding, moving to another room, stretching, doing some exercise, or walking. Change your physiology. Often changes your thought pattern. And then it's important to ask a key question. Is this thought helpful or just familiar? Rumination feels familiar, but the problem is it's not helpful. This question helps you decide whether to continue the thought or let it go. And then it's important to schedule worry time. Your brain keeps returning to the same topic. Set a worry appointment at a specific time later in the day. Write the worry down and revisit only during that window. Most people find the intensity decreases by the time they reach it. And it's also important to replace rumination with action. Instead of spiraling about the past or future, choose one small concrete step. Drink water, step outside, text a friend for support, organize one item, take 5 deep breaths. Action interrupts paralysis. And it's important to practice self compassion. Rumination often comes from a place of fear, not failure. So, gentle statements and affirmations like, I was doing the best I could at the time or the moment, or it's okay to release this now, it helps soften the mental loop. Rumination isn't a sign of weakness, it's a habit that the brain learned to deal with to feel safer. And with awareness, boundaries, and small consistent shifts, your brain can learn a new way of thinking. If you want more tools for anxiety, overthinking, and emotional regulation, subscribe and continue this journey with me at Birdsong Psychiatry. Your mind can change, your nervous system can calm, and you're definitely not alone in the process.